So the third and final problem that Dad will be solving is a word problem and an age problem. So let's read over this slowly so we can understand. Ray is 2 years younger than Sig. 3 times Sig's age subtracted from 5 times Ray's age equals Sig's age. Now, to better understand this and to solve it, we're going to want to make a graph. On this graph, we're going to have the two names, Ray and Sig, at the top. So write Ray and Sig's names. So we're going to also, right next to Sig, we're going to write equation. Equation right next to the right of Sig's names. Create a graph by drawing a line between each title. So right before Ray, draw a line down. We're just creating a simple graph. Then to create a table, draw a vertical line between Ray and Sig, and say get equation. Now form boxes. So we're going to want a line under. Now that we have our table, we'll be using variables to find out both Ray's and Sig's ages. Now, we'll be using the variable s to describe or represent Sig's age. So write the variable under Sig. And we know that Ray is what? How many years younger than Sig?
2 years younger.
Right. So what would we do? We have Sig, and if we're making him younger,
We subtract.
correct. So we would have Sig's variable s. Yeah, so we just write s minus 2. Now with that, we can form our equation. Now, for our second part, we know that 3 times Sig's age subtracted from 5 times Ray's age equals Sig's age. Ray is 2 years younger than Sig. We got that part down. Now we go on to our second part. 3 times Sig's age subtracted from 5 times Ray's age. Well, we know that 3 times Sig's age is subtracted from 5 times Ray's age. What this means is that the 3 times Sig's age is going to come after the 5 times Ray's age. Because when we see from, we have to add that afterward. So let's start off with 5 times Ray's age. So we're going to have our 5, and we know that we can look at our Ray, and what describes Ray's age?
S minus 2.
Correct. So we're going to have our s minus 2 in parentheses. So we can multiply everything by that 5. And now we get to our 3 times Sig's age. So we know that Sig is s. So minus 3 times s. Right. So we know that this all equals Sig's age because it says 5 times Ray's age equals 6 age, and 3 times 6 age is subtracted from that. So ultimately, this should all equal 6 age, which is what we're trying to find. So we're going to put equals 6 age, which is S. Now we have to solve. We're going to do distributive multiplication with the 5 and the S minus 2. Correct. Now we're going to bring down that negative 3s or minus 3s and bring down our s, or equals s. Now we do see 2 like terms. So what do we do with those?
Regroup them.
Right, we combine them. So we're going to add our 5s and our negative 3s. Which gives us now that we have gotten our 2s, we're going to bring down our negative 10 from earlier. So we're going to put minus, exactly. And then bring down our, yes, the remaining part. Now, we also need to isolate the variable. So we need to subtract the 2 from the 2s and do that on both sides. So we're trying to get rid of this 2s, so we're going to subtract the 2 from it. That cancels out. Yeah, equal to 0. And then we're going to do the same with our s on the other side. Minus 2. And we know that there is an imaginary 1 right next to that s, which gives us, what is 1 minus 2? Negative
1, which is s.
Negative s. Now we're going to bring down our negative 10. And we're going to bring down our equal sign as well. And we're going to divide by that negative s. So we're going to put a line across, have our division, put negative f, or negative 1. So now we divide by negative s. We're going to put our line of division under everything and put negative s under both terms, because we cannot have a negative variable. So that cancels out, so we can cross that out and then put it under the negative 10. 2 negatives give us what?
Positive.
Right. So that would be positive 10 is equal to s, or sig's age. Now, we know that sig is 10, but we can't forget Ray. So if we go back to our chart here, we're going to plug in that 10 for s. So it's going to be 10, because we just plug that in, minus 2, correct, which gives us 8. So 8 equals Ray's age. We can put 8 equals R for Ray's age. Now we have solved for both Ray and sig's age, and we're done the problem.